It's late, and in my opinion, I don't know who that pale fat man was that Terence Crawford just fought, but he was supposed to be fighting John Molina. And I seen this guy come out with this green attire on with all these question marks. This pale white man, this pale fat white man, and I don't know. Anyway, let's wait for the what round was that? Round 7 or 8? I don't know. I'm sitting there watching, and I've been watching so much boxing all day, and I'm thinking, like, what is this? Now, mind you, I have a 4K television, but it's in 1080p, and I can see, like, his tan lines. He pale. I did see a little bit of the, what they showed on HBO, the fighter meetings, where they asked John Molina, it's like, yo, why you ain't make weight? Because he weighed in at 144 pounds. 4 pounds over the 140-pound limit for the WBC ring and WBO 140-pound titles. 3 belts on the line. So he went to go try to lose some weight, and I guess he probably was butt naked when he came back 2 hours to weigh in at 143.4. So he couldn't even lose a pound. He said that, he was in the sauna with, full clothes, and he just couldn't drop that water weight. He couldn't drop, that weight. But if you look at his resume, this is only, if I'm correct, the 3rd time he's fought over the 140-pound limit. So it's just, I want to hear what Terence Crawford has to say, but, the guy did beat Ruslan Provodnikov in his last fight, and technically this is supposed to be Ruslan Provodnikov who's fighting Terence Crawford. But looking at the 140-pound division, as I was saying before, Terence Crawford can easily unify this division. Remember, he's WBC ring and WBO. Ricky Burns, who he beat at 135, now has the WBA 140-pound title. You got what's his name again? Julius Ndangu, who is let me listen to this. Punches landed 184 of 419. 184 of 419 for Terence Crawford. 41 punches landed in the whole fight of 287 for John Molina. That's 44% for Crawford, 14% for John Molina.
John Molina's connect rate in total punches.
But he was fat.
Even more one-sided. He lands 87 more, he throws.
Power punches, 109 of 217, 50% for Terence Crawford. 22 of 191, 12% for John Molina. But, I think we all knew this. I guess the question is, now, where does Terence Crawford go next? We got to listen to the post-fight interview. His future WBC mandatory, Antonio Orozco, fights next week. Let's listen. Please subscribe.
You said it was important to you to be Fighter of the Year again this year as you were a couple of years ago. Do you think this performance does it for you?
Of course. Of course. I showed everything in this fight.
As a dominant champion, sometimes you're not going to get the credit for the wins that you have because your opponent isn't competitive, as was the case in the Postal fight. Molina is a credible opponent, but didn't win a moment of the fight. You beat him up and knocked him out. How do you get around this issue of getting credit for these contenders that you continue to beat when you beat them so easily?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank God for blessing me with this victory. Without him, none of this would be possible. But credit to John Molina, he came, he fought, he did everything he could do. But at the same time, I'm just a fighter. I don't make the fights. I just fight them.
We know that you're interested in fighting Pacquiao. Do you think that fight can be a reality in the near future?
That's up to Bob Arum and my managers and my coaches. Of course, I would love to fight Pacquiao, but you know it's a business.
In the event that you don't get Pacquiao, is there another fighter in or around your weight class that you think you can make a big fight with?
Well, right now, anybody with a title. Anybody with a title. Ricky Burns or the newly crowned IBF champion. I want them belts. If I can't get Pacquiao, I want them.
At welterweight, there are some names there, although there may be promotional or network issues, but one that jumps out to me as a different kind of talent is Errol Spence. Do you think eventually someone like that can be a big opponent for you?
Yeah, of course, but he at 147, I'm at 140, and he may be moving up, but sure, that'd be a great fight.
Terence, congratulations. Always a pleasure to watch your work. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Let's see if they interview John Molina. Or whoever that guy is. They're not. Good. Here's the thing that's going with the Pacquiao fight. Believe it if you want, or if you don't want to. People want to think that Pacquiao himself is ducking Terence Crawford. Pacquiao's going to fight whoever they tell him to fight, but also you have to understand that, Terence Crawford is not a profitable enough fight, and I'm just giving you the 100. Terence Crawford is not a profitable enough fight for Pacquiao. Imagine, right? If you were to tell Floyd Mayweather to fight Terence Crawford, what is he going to say? What was his pay-per-view box? What did he, So come on, let's not keep the double standards here. I would love to see Terence Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao, but Bob Arum and HBO, they want to make money. His last fight, Pacquiao's wasn't picked up by HBO. HBO may pick up Pacquiao versus Crawford because of Crawford, but the pay-per-view is going to do what? About the same as Pacquiao versus Vargas, maybe a little less, depending on how you stack the card. Come on, you have to understand. We know Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is very, very big in Omaha, which is why he fought, 3 of his last 6 fights there, if I'm correct. But at this point in time, he's just not a superstar yet. He's good, really, really good, and he could beat Pacquiao in my opinion, but he's just not a superstar yet. I'm sorry. Where does he go from here? He already just called out Ricky Burns. Now it's all up to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn can deliver Ricky Burns. Ricky Burns can either feel as though he wants to avenge, or at least try to avenge that loss to Terence Crawford at a different weight where he'll be more comfortable, or, they can go fight whoever they're going to be fighting and basically ducking. You got Julius Ndungu. I'm sure, that they'll jump on the chance to fight for 3 belts against Terence Crawford. And that'll be a fight that, HBO should pick up if it happens, because it's going to be, a chance for Terence Crawford to get 3, titles, and then he already has the ring. So he have 4 championships, depending on how you count the ring title or not. And then it just leaves Ricky Burns. So as he said, if he can't get one of those big fights, a big fight against Pacquiao, or like a super big name like a Danny Garcia, or somebody like that, or an Amir Khan, or Timothy Bradley, even threw out Errol Spence, then, unify that. That's an easy division to unify. And the thing is, there's no politics, that can really, really stop it. The only politics that can stop it is Eddie Hearn and Ricky Burns. That's it. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. All the links to my social media right down below. In the description box, highlights to the fight are right down below. All you got to do is go to my Instagram, TST Controversy, or Fight View 360. Please subscribe.